Hello, que lo que mi gente, gracias por estar nuevamente aquí en mi canal Ron Infosec. Pues hoy quiero mostrarle y explicarle algo en lo que he venido trabajando. Así que sin más, vamos a rodar el intro y comencemos con el video. Que lo que mi gente, gracias, muchas gracias por el apoyo que me han seguido dando. Seguimos creciendo como comunidad, sigo aprendiendo, sigo tratando de llevarle lo mejor de mí y ponerlo aquí en el contenido. Les pido que por favor me sigan apoyando para que podamos seguir creciendo. Pues el video de hoy se trata de algo en lo que estuve trabajando. Pues resulta que a mediados de este año tuve la oportunidad de poder participar en un programa en donde en ese programa pues te mostraban cómo ser un maestro o un instructor de los colegios comunitarios aquí en los Estados Unidos. Pues aproveché esta oportunidad, aprendí un montón, tuve la oportunidad de viajar hacia Chicago para hacer unas cuantas presentaciones allá y parte de todo esto conllevaba lo que es un trabajo final. Pues el trabajo final consistía en dar una clase o impartir un tema específico acerca de seguridad informática en unos de tus colegios comunitarios, ya sea vía en línea, de manera virtual o de manera presencial. Pues tuve la oportunidad de que pude completar mi trabajo final y mostrar o enseñar mi tema de seguridad informática. Pues lo que hice es que me puse en contacto o me pusieron en contacto. Las personas encargadas de este programa me pusieron en contacto con una catedrática, con una persona que me ayudó bastante. Le estoy bien agradecida por todo lo que me ayudó para completar esta última asignación en lo que es el colegio comunitario de mi área. Tengo un colegio que me queda bien cerca. Este colegio comunitario es el Ann Arundel Community College, es el AACC. Y pues inmediatamente me puse en contacto con esa persona, con ese catedrático, empecé a trabajar en lo que sería mi tema. El tema que me fue asignado o el tema que coordinamos que iba a enseñar era la seguridad informática en las redes. Así que preparé toda una clase, preparé todo un contenido, utilicé lo que se llama Canvas. Canvas es un LMS o un Learning Management System. Esto es lo que utilizan mayormente las universidades. Cuando entra, tienes la clase dividida por secciones y debí preparar una presentación, también las secciones, algunos cuantos am, prácticas y un sinnúmero más de cosas. Pues durante esta asignación, para poder someterla y me sea evaluado mi trabajo final, pues debía grabarme cuando estaba haciendo esta presentación y tuve la oportunidad de poder grabarme mientras iba haciendo la presentación. Así que lo próximo que van a ver, el video próximo que van a ver a continuación, es cuando me tocó dar mi presentación en frente de la clase, en frente de los estudiantes. Por cuestiones de privacidad, simplemente apunté la cámara al frente de la pizarra o del whiteboard y solo me muestro yo en escena mientras impartía la clase. La clase fue totalmente en inglés, ya que ah, no digo que domino completamente el inglés, pero eh, ese era el requisito, que la clase debía ser en inglés y efectivamente hice mi presentación, hice mi clase en inglés. Fue acerca de eh, la seguridad de las redes y traté de abarcar lo más que pude en esa clase. Pues esta clase o este tema aproximadamente tardé unos 45 minutos en poder completar toda la presentación. Así que, nada, mi gente, mira la presentación. Cuando la presentación finalice, entonces voy a regresar para darte mi última opinión o hablar un poquito más acerca de la presentación y entonces finalizar el video. Así que no te vayas porque lo que viene es interesante. Además, si estás pensando entrar en este mundo de la seguridad informática o lo que es la informática en general, pues te recomiendo que deberías ir estudiando y aprendiendo el idioma inglés. Así que vamos a ver este video y regreso al final para darte mi última opinión. Vamos allá. Okay, so good morning. My name is Algenis Romero. I'm a participant of the National Community College Cybersecurity Fellowship Program. That program is offered by the National Cybersecurity Training and Education Center. Before I can continue, I let you know that I'm going to be recording this presentation for purpose of training and also self-improvement. I'm not accustomed to do too many presentations, so bear with me, and we're going to be good. So today I'm here to talk to you about network security fundamentals. We are going to cover the following topics: foundation of network security, network threats and vulnerabilities, types of network attacks, network attack mitigation strategies, and last, we're going to see best practices for reinforcing the network security. So let's start with the foundations of network security. Network security involves protecting the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of data and systems across a network using layer defense, access control, and threat mitigation strategies. As you can see, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, also known as the CIA triad, are the pillars, not just for network security, but information security in general. As you can see right here, confidentiality protects sensitive data from unauthorized access. Integrity ensures data remains accurate. And availability keeps system and service reliable, accessible for your users. So what key components and tools we usually gonna find, or are the foundation for network security? Well, we have security layers. With the security layers, we have the physical. That means you have to protect your hardware. You need to be able to know unauthorized person actually going and have access to your data centers, Also, we have technical. Technical are the different devices that we put in place across the network to be able to protect the network. That include firewalls, VPN, means virtual private network. Also, we got IDS, or intrusion detection system, IPS, intrusion protection system, and also encryption. So we had the administrative policies or the administrative control. That means policies that you have about how to use your network. You're not going to allow your user to go into your infrastructure and do whatever they want in your network. So you need to put in place policies, but also you need to have access control. Not everybody can go and access your network just because they want to watch some YouTube videos or stuff like that. And also you need conduct regular audits because you need to see and verify what kind of devices are getting access into your network. Some of the essential tools that you also see on your network environment are firewalls, as I mentioned before, VPNs also, antivirus,
MFA or multi-factor authentication, and you constantly need to monitor your system to verify that everything is working as expected in your network. So now that we talk a little bit about the foundation of network security, let's see threats and vulnerability. It is really important that you recognize threats and vulnerability because this is gonna helping you to developing a strong and effective security defense on your network. As you can see right here, you see a little bit of what is a threat and then how you can identify vulnerabilities. So what are real examples of different threats that you'll be able to see or you'll be able to recognize? Well, we have malware outbreaks. We got phishing campaigns. Phishing campaigns usually try to deceive human behavior to be able to try then to provide you with credential or to provide some information that the threat actor can use to be able to exploit your network. It's always say in information security that we as a human are the weakest link on security. So also insider threats. For vulnerability, we can see common ones is like outdated software. This is a common one, especially now. Every time we have a new version of the software, sometimes it's difficult for companies or the infrastructure to go ahead and update the software because that software maybe is working with a robotic arm and it's difficult to you be able to update the software because it doesn't have the proper code or the proper drivers to be able to control that robotic arm. For that reason, it's very important that if you have outdated software, then you need to secure the device or put it behind a firewall. Another one of the vulnerabilities that we can find, common one, is misconfigured system or settings. If you have a firewall and that firewall doesn't have the right settings, so threat actor can go ahead and take advantage of that and then exploit and get access into your network. And a common one are weak passwords. That one, due to the all different data breaches that are happening lately, then it's a lot of different passwords around the network, where a threat actor can use those dictionaries of password, all these millions of passwords, and try to conduct brute forcing or password spraying to be able to get access. If you have a weak password or something that is, what can I say, that default password, usually when you got a router, stuff like that, they come with default credential, then it's gonna be really easy for threat actor to get access into your network. So now we're gonna move into a practical exercise. I don't know if you will be able to, so, and if you open Canvas, it's gonna be the first and the assignment.
So they won't have access to it unless I add it to their Canvas shell.
Okay.
So I can just send it to them. So, do you want me to just send them the Wireshark?
So we're gonna open Wireshark, and then I'm gonna send you a file, or your instructor is gonna send you a file, and we're gonna conduct a really brief analysis of a packet right there.
Okay. Everybody logged in, I hope. Not. Get logged in. Morning. Should we send them both?
Yeah, you can send both because we're gonna be
All right, so that's the first one. Should have sent this first one.
So once you get the file, the first one is gonna be telnet cookie, something like that. I think that's the name of the file.
Yeah, just minimize the second one or do the dual screen if you need to.
Yeah.
Should be two.
I know you got experience with using Wireshark, right? Yeah. What you're gonna do is you're gonna open the packet. When you open the packet, you're gonna just right-click in any of the data that you're gonna see, and you main screen right there, and then select follow, and then TCP string. Just when you click on that, a new window is gonna open. Just let me know what you can see right there. Yes?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Oh. Okay. Okay. So you able to see right away, right? I'm gonna give you like around 5 minutes to be able to, go through. Oh.
Colin, look to see if you have an Insight Files folder on the C drive.
Okay. So as you can see right there, that's a telnet. And then that package or that information was sent over an unencrypted network. And then somebody captured the packets, and then they be able to see everything since the credential that they put it on, also the command they use, all the information is right there in clear text. So that's one of the reasons that's very important that your network, you need to apply encryption. That's one of the layer security method that you can use to try to secure your network. I'm gonna give you 2 more minutes for allow everyone to go ahead and complete it. So now that we see one of the issues of not having encryption in your network, let's move to the different types of network attacks. So before attackers or threat actors actually go and perform an attack into your network, they have to collect information. That technique or that method they use is called information gathering and reconnaissance. What they do, they go ahead, it's like a passive kind of scanning they doing. They try to go online and find information about your network, about your company. Maybe some of the employees start asking some question on a forum about how to fix something in your company, and right there, that threat actor immediately know, oh, he using Apache for his web service, right? So when they doing that, they actually can more or less have an idea what kind of attack they can start conducting against your network. So the way they apply or the way they collect this information is conducting a scanning. Sometimes they scan your network to see what kind of open ports do you have or what kind of service do you have on those ports, right? Then they start looking for a lot of different kind of exploitable points into your network. Once they have a general idea about what kind of infrastructure or what kind of network do you have, maybe the service that are running or the port that you got open, so they start to conducting their attacks. Some of the attacks they can conduct is try to, get it like malware. Malware is like a lot of different malwares, but we can find virus, we can find worms, and we can find ransomware. Ransomware is one that is hitting really hard right now. What happened with ransomware is they encrypt the data. Sometimes you can see it in the news, even hospital has been an attack, and then it's something called ransom as a service. They try to have like a whole tools for you to be able to conduct this kind of attack. And then they encrypt the data, and then they request payment for allow that company to get the data back or get the keys to be able to unencrypt the data. Another one that we can see is access attacks and phishing attacks. With the access attacks is the one that I mentioned before, like some attacker can start sending a phishing campaign to your company if one of the your employees or one of your users reveals some credential, then they're gonna go ahead and try to see where they can use those credentials. That's for the reason they put here access attacks and phishing techniques or phishing attacks. Another one that we can see is DOS or denial of service. They also have the DDoS or distribute denial of service. That one, the attackers, what they're looking for is trying to disrupt your service. If for some reason your user trying to access your network, your infrastructure, and they are unable to access, then this is gonna be a bad experience for that user. And then this is gonna cause a lot of issue for the company. Sometimes servers, they just shut down because they just flow too much information across your network that, overheat your servers, your different devices that you have in the network. These are very bad also. They can cause financial loss and completely stop operation from a company. The whole infrastructure, the whole network can be down with these type of attacks. So now that we know a few of the different type of attacks that we can see on the network, let's see how we can mitigate those attacks, how we can stop this from happening on our network. Then we need to have a defensive deep approach. With defensive deep means that you need to have different layers of security. Like I mentioned in the beginning, we have technical, we have administrative, and then these different mix of security techniques you need to be applied in a layered defense. So let's say the same attacker conducting the phishing attack and get us credential, and that credential they try to use, and they probably have just the first stage of this credential because he needs a second one. That means that you apply multi-factor authentication and you need more than one set of credentials to be able to access on the network. If for some reason the attacker can get those credentials, they won't be able to pass your first layer. It's very important that you always try to, in your network, get a defensive deep approach to protect all the different points on your networks. One important device, like for me, I consider that device like the first line of defense on your network are firewalls. Firewalls are very important because you can monitor your traffic. Also, you can enforce rules into your network. You can control the data, how it flows in your network when you have firewalls in place. And the most important one, you can have barriers between networks. What I mean by that is the firewall, can be the barrier between your internal network and your external network. We cannot forget also about the endpoint or the devices. Now, most of the company, they use something that is called bring your own device. But if you allow devices coming into your network, you have to make sure that at least they have antivirus protection, they use data encryption, and also have the proper access control. So sometimes they use role-based access to just provide the right amount of access that that device or that user or employee needs to perform their job or perform their duties. So we're gonna move into the second exercise. We're gonna, again, use Wireshark and then open the SMTP SSL file.
The same capture?
No, one is pickup, the other one is pickup NG, I think so, PNG. SMTP-SSL, the pickup NG. Just open that one.
He didn't get it. It's not it. Is it right there? Anybody else missing it? Anybody else?
So we're gonna do the same thing, just right click, follow TCP string. So what you can see right here is basically nothing, right? The first part is gonna be the header of that package that, is just giving you information about where does it go, the encryption, say TLS right there, and then the version of the service that you're using and stuff like that. But after that, you are unable to see anything in there. And then that's because they use encryption to be able to send that email. That's very important that you use encryption in your network every time you have to send or receive traffic. I'm gonna give you 1 more minute.
Encryption was used?
You can use, SSH type of encryption. We have the,
For this one then?
for the ones it's SSL. Yeah, for that one it's SSL. So this is gonna be a little task for you guys. You are able to actually see when you open the package right here. I can give you the encryption key, and then you'll be able to put the encryption key here in Wireshark, and you'll be able to see what is what's sent over here. So I'm gonna leave that as a homework for you guys. You can go and check it out, how to use the encryption key to be able to see encrypted data over Wireshark. Pretty simple. Also, you can set it up your browser to create that file with the encryption, and then open it and see all the data that is being encrypted over HTTP when you use your browser.
What protocol was he using?
That one is for that one is a SMTP. Okay, let's continue with the presentation. Before I finish with my presentation, I want you to talk a little bit about industry best practice for you to reinforce your network. Some of these best practice is, different industry get an agreement and say, yeah, I'm doing this, and then it's working for me, and the other one applies, say, you know what, it's also working for me, and they get an agreement. They say it's best practices for you to be able to use, not just in network, but overall, to network security and information security overall. The first one is have regular data backups, and then also have a strong disaster recovery plan. If you have backups in place, then it's gonna be easier for you to recover, if your network go down or your system go down and you got those backup, but it's gonna be really easy for you to be able to restore or get back your company into operation. With a disaster recovery plan, it's good because with that, you can have your team follow a set of instructions today to be able to restore system also quickly. A combination of backup and a good disaster recovery plan is gonna help you out to restore your network, restore your service, and you be back in operation in as quick as they can. Also, as I mentioned before, software update and patch management is one of the industry best practice patch management is very good because sometimes you apply patches into your system or your devices, and then those patches are not compatible with certain devices, and then you start having issues or something stop working. If you have a patch management, then you know how to revert back to what patch, to go back your system or your network to operational levels again. Another important one is strong authentication and access control. That's something that I mentioned during the presentation. Access control is very important because you cannot allow anybody to go into your network and start conducting stuff and access places that you not allowed to access in your network or your infrastructure. That's very important. For that, you also need to apply multi-factor authentication. And I believe that's going to be everything here. So it's important that you recognize the different threats and attack types because it's going to help you out to create an effective security management into your network. And then also for mitigation strategies, it's good that you apply like layer security levels and also go and see industry best practices to reinforce your network. So does anybody have any questions? Well, thank you so much for having me here.
Pues nada, mi gente, esta fue mi presentación de este tema, que fue, como ya lo he dicho varias veces, sobre la seguridad de las redes, y impartí esta materia, no esta materia, pero este tema en el colegio comunitario de mi localidad, el cual es el Ann Arundel Community College. Y como ven aquí, pues hablé un poco de lo que son las diferentes amenazas, vulnerabilidades y también cómo proteger las redes y un poquito, traté de abarcar un poquito de todo. En realidad esta clase es una clase de redes. Los estudiantes de aquí se preparan para tomar la certificación de redes de Cisco, y dentro de este currículum, dentro de esta clase, pues había un tema que incluía lo que era la seguridad informática. Tuve la oportunidad de coordinar con la instructora encargada de esa clase y me dijo que podía impartir ese tema en particular. Por eso elegí ese tema, un tema muy interesante también para mí. Pude hacer varios ejercicios prácticos. Uno de ellos fue, o dos de ellos, ambos ejercicios fueron para analizar paquetes que van por el internet. Uno que no usaba método de encriptación, simplemente en texto plano, y el otro con un método de encriptación. Así los estudiantes pudieron ver la diferencia de cómo se puede visualizar un paquete cuando se captura sin que tenga ningún tipo de encripción y cuando tiene algún tipo de encripción. Pues eso fue todo en el video de hoy. Si quieres saber más acerca de esto, voy a tratar de poner el enlace aquí debajo en los comentarios. También voy a tratar de poner algunas de las tarjetitas por aquí para que veas otros videos de cuando estuve realizando esta clase o este programa. Hubieron varios videos que he publicado aquí en mi canal de cuando fui el viaje a Chicago. Así que te recomiendo que vayas y lo veas, porque ese viaje a Chicago también tuve la oportunidad de ser voluntario y participar en una conferencia de ciberseguridad que también se estaba ofreciendo allá. Así que nada, mi gente, como siempre te digo, por favor suscríbete, dale un me gusta, activa la campanita y comenta para saber qué más tú quieres saber o qué te gustaría aprender o que yo mostrar aquí en este canal. Así puedo tener eso preparado para ti. Sin más, entonces, déjame saber en los comentarios si tú quieres que haga una traducción al español de esta presentación, de la diapositiva, así como también si quieres los archivos que utilicé para como ejemplo en el ejercicio práctico. Déjame saber eso en los comentarios si quieres tener esos archivos para que tú también lo analices usando Wireshark y si quieres que traduzca esta presentación en español. Así que nada, mi gente, muchísimas gracias por el apoyo. Como siempre le digo, vamos a seguir creciendo. Necesito sobrepasar los 500 suscriptores y más de las 3,000 vistas. Y la verdad que el año se va acabando y me estoy quedando corto. Así que su apoyo es vital para yo poder completar eso. Pues nada, no se olviden regresar para que sigan viendo más de mi contenido, pero también compartir para que podamos seguir creciendo. Aquí lo dejo, chequea mi otro video y nos vemos en un siguiente video.